Welcome back to the True Golf Academy. You've joined me, John Watts, today at Branston Golf and Country Club. I'm in our swing studio and today's video is all going to be about wedge play. So I'm going to show you a really simple drill to make sure you're launching the ball at the correct angle with your wedges to create consistency of distance and rollout. Stay tuned to find out more. As mentioned, today's video is going to be about wedge play. And this research has come about from James Ridyard. So check out some of his stuff on YouTube or on his website. What he's looked at over the last number of years is what he calls the wedge project. And he's taken a lot of measurements and some really interesting stuff. So I'm just touching on one part of this and showing you how you could practice it. And this is to do with the launch angle, creating a consistent launch angle with your wedges. So what I've set up here is a pitching gate. So I've used some tour sticks here and I've set my bar across. And if I hit that bar, it's 30-degree launch angle, so I know what I'm creating. So the average with the tour players with a wedge in their hand is somewhere between 25 and 35-degree launch angle. What we want to try and create is a consistent number. So this is set at 30 degrees, obviously being a middle number there around the average. How you work this out is you get the distance to your wedge gate, so the distance to your tour sticks, which I've done 2 meters, so 200 centimeters, and you times that by 0.58, and that gives you the distance you need to set that top bar. Now mine was a little trickier than that because the ground level out here is actually a little lower than the mat, so I've had to measure the difference between them. But if you just get the distance, it doesn't matter what that is, as I've done 2 meters, 200 centimeters, times 0.58, and that's given me the height that this bar here needs to be. Now if I strike that bar, I know I'm launching at 30 degrees, so my aim when I'm pitching, I'm going to hit to a consistent distance with the same club and try and launch the ball at the same angle. Now you might be thinking, why do I want to do that? If we can get the same launch angle each time, we are getting a more consistent flight, we're getting a more consistent rollout, we can start to more exactly measure our distance with our wedges. So whether you use a swing length method, which I like, or a position, sort of P1, P2, etc., or whether you even go clock face position, you can start to learn, well, this swing goes this far at this trajectory, it rolls out this much, and we can really start to dial in our wedges. So what I've got as well here, of course, is my GC2 launch monitor with my HMT head measurement device. So I was playing around with this warming up, and this seems bang on. I hit, and hopefully I'll do it again for you, I hit the yellow stick there, my bar across just a minute ago while I was just warming up. And I got my launch angle on my GC2 telling me it started at 30.3 degrees. So I know I've got that pretty much smack on there. So I'm using a 58 degree, but I might just in a second as well hit my 52, maybe to a different yardage, but still trying to get a consistency of flight. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to be playing this to around my 50-yard flag, a red flag out there. I'm playing all of these very central, where I would encourage you to play pitch shots from, underneath my sternum, and I want my handle of the golf club more level. The idea is that we can create some consistency at impact at least. First strike wasn't my best, it was a little bit on the thin side and the launch angle was lower than I wanted. Annoyingly, didn't hit any of those in practice. Let me have one more go here. That was a better strike. More like the trajectory I'd expect to see, and a launch angle of 30.6 degrees. So you will see these numbers, they will come up on the screen here for you. Let me try that again, see if we can create, again, some consistency of launch angle. Hopefully what we'd look at as well is a relatively consistent angle of attack, which I know you won't measure. I am measuring here, but I'll get, hopefully for you, a consistent angle of attack, a consistent loft. But the important thing and what we're measuring and really looking at with this pitching gate is, of course, that launch angle. Again, the strike felt very solid. The distance, the trajectory looked pretty much the same. launch angle at 30.9, so they were within 0.3 of a degree of each other. Spin rate's very similar, angle of attack pretty similar. I de-lofted that one a fraction more. But very, very consistent. So let me just go on and hit. Now, I haven't got the dots on my 52, so all we will get is launch angle. We won't be getting the club data, but I'm going to hit to a different yardage. So I'm going to hit more to around 75 yards and see if we can still get somewhere around the same sort of flight pattern. Strike felt good. It's a fraction lower, and we might expect that, but again, could we get consistency of flight? So that was 28 degrees. Let me hit one more of those with my 52 degree. Strike felt good, trajectory looked pretty similar, and just a fraction lower than my last one. Remembering that the average on tour is somewhere between 25 and 35 degrees. What I'd like to see is could we get consistency of flight with the same wedge each time. We're looking for that ideal number of around 30 degrees, which is what this pitching gate gives you. So I'm not really talking too much about method here. I want you doing it, seeing whether you're low, mid, high, and then you can start to work on method from there. You know, if we're consistently hitting it too low, the likelihood is our hands are leading the club too much, or maybe we've got our ball position further back. There could be a number of factors, so I can't go into all of those, but start seeing where you're at with your launch angle. Start trying to hit that 30-degree mark there. I know if you can do that, it's really going to improve your wedge play. If you did enjoy the contact video, if it has helped, let me know how you get on. Do post some comments and questions below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for all the other content every week. Thanks guys, we'll see you soon.